Hello guys, this is RJ from Game News USA, and today I want to go over the PlayStation State of Play for September 2024. I want to go over all the announcements and what I think about them. But first, I want to give an overall thoughts on the presentation itself. I feel like the show was trending at about a 3 or a 4 out of 10. Until the last game that was announced, which we will talk about towards the end of the video. So I think overall, the show gets about a 6 out of 10 from me. It's barely passing. It's barely passable. We still expect to see more from PlayStation. We would like to see more of their exclusives. We understand that it's the third-party box. We understand that it's basically the industry leader as far as cutting edge graphics go and where the third parties want to go. However, as a fan of PlayStation IP, it would be nice to see more games, more of their newer entries, and if you're going to do remakes or remasters, let it be games that are from the PS3 era that are more locked to that console that need to come over, like an Infamous or a Killzone and stuff like that. That would be really fun to see added to the PS5, not some of the other games that were announced today. However, with that being said, the showcase wasn't terrible. There was a few hidden gems in there that we will definitely go over. And without further ado, let's get started. Please remember to hit the subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. Let's go. So right off the bat, the first thing we got was an announcement for new online speedrun and new levels for Astrobot as a free add-on this fall. That's great news. Great way to start off the presentation. You know, you're giving the fans something for free. You're adding some content to a game that, in my opinion, has been the best game this year so far. And you're riding off the success of Astrobot. So I have no problem with the presentation starting off with that. Then we had a game called The Midnight Walk. I looked at this game. I am not a fan of the Tim Burton art style. This is not my kind of game whatsoever. TBA on that. Then the next game we got is one of those hidden gems I mentioned, Hell Is Us, which I believe is a TBA for 2025. And this game looked great. It looked really interesting. However, I can't be fully bought on it until I see actual gameplay. Until I actually see how you function in that world. But it looks really interesting to me, and I'm definitely going to keep my eye on that game going forward. Then we got a game I really don't care about. Metro Awakening VR coming November 7th. I believe that's around the same time the PS5 Pro drops. But they're going to go ahead and drop this VR game. I think PlayStation made a huge mistake even bothering to continue with VR. So they have to shoehorn some games on there on purpose to try to get people to buy the VR headsets or to justify having the VR headsets. I don't know why we just couldn't get a regular Metro game. PlayStation, honestly, I was all for last year them promoting the VR because they needed to do something with it. But now I'm to the point already where I'm like, abandon ship and get off the VR train, for the love of God. You just need more games on the PS5 base model at this point. And all your other bullshit you got going on, like the Pro and the Portal and all that stuff, needs to come second to making games, making software on the PS5. And I sound like a broken record talking about it, but it's true. Next up, we have a game called ArcheAge Chronicles. I don't have any thoughts on it. Then we have Palworld. This is really interesting. Coming off the heels of Nintendo's lawsuit, Palworld is coming to PlayStation. That actually genuinely surprised me. I played some of Palworld, and I wasn't that big into it. But I hear the game keeps getting better and keeps getting more improvements. And so I'm really curious to check this out and see how it is on the PlayStation before Nintendo makes them pull the plug. Then we have a game that, this is another hidden gem. that I'm pretty interested in, honestly. How about Lunar Remastered Collection coming in spring of 2025? If it's not coming out the exact same time the Switch 2 is, I may take a look at this one because it turn-based RPG, classic style, right up my alley kind of game. And I never actually played the Lunar games in the past, so I'll get a fresh take on it when I actually get a chance to play this. And like I said, I'm somewhat interested. Next up, we got some TMNT Shredder's Revenge DLC out now. That's great for people that are still playing it. I loved Shredder's Revenge. Played it, beat it, enjoyed it, moved on with my day. But good for those that will enjoy this DLC. Then we have some Sonic Generations Shadow news. Like Keanu Reeves is going to voice Shadow in a DLC part of the game. I'm already sold on Sonic Generations because of the extra added Shadow content to begin with. And the game looks great. This remake or remaster of Generations with this added content. I don't know if I'll get it at launch, but it won't be too much longer. This is definitely a game I will pick up because I like Sonic Generations the first time. I want to see the extra content, and it looks phenomenal to see it in such bright, colorful graphics. Next up, we got Fantasia Neo Dimension coming December 5th. I don't have many thoughts on that, guys. I'm not going to bullshit you if I don't have many thoughts on a certain game. I really don't with this one. Next up, we got Dragon Age Velguard, which comes out Halloween. This game doesn't look great, to be completely honest with you guys. I've never been much of a Dragon Age guy to begin with. I don't know why it never quite clicked with me. It looks like it should click with me. It looks like a game I should love. I just never have. And then this game looks like it's coming out and it just doesn't graphically, and I'm not a graphics guy, graphically does not look impressive to me like a next-gen game. And maybe it'll play better than that, but I think I can't pick this up until I get a sale. And I'm feeling really lukewarm on this game. And I feel like a lot of people are online, and it's not just me. Then next up, we got Alan Wake 2 DLC, The Lake House, coming in October. That's good for the Alan Wake fans. Not me. I'm not really an Alan Wake guy. Look, before you come at me in the comments saying I'm picky, I have played thousands of games, if not tens of thousands of games. I've truly enjoyed hundreds of games. We just all have different tastes in what we like. And so far, nothing's truly grabbed me too much in this presentation. Except maybe, Hell Like Us and Sonic Generations. And I do like the idea of more Astrobot levels. But, next up, we got Hitman World Assassination VR coming in December. Again, another VR game that are still trying to keep the VR on life support. So I guess you got something if you have a VR headset, but I would just like to see a Hitman game on a regular console. Then we have Soul Reaver 1 and 2 Remastered coming December 10th. That looks alright. That's about all I'll say about that one. Then we have Fear the Spotlight coming out December 22nd. Sneaky good game, possibly. Blumhouse getting involved in games. I don't know if this is a new development, but I know I love the Blumhouse movies. And I'm not sure about this game at all, but it's coming out at such a weird time, 3 days before Christmas. I almost never see a game come out that late in the year, but I'm definitely going to keep my eye on it and see if it's something I do want to pick up. But it's on the radar, on my radar officially. Then we have Towers of Agabazda or something like that. The beta comes out in October. That's all I got for you on that. Then we got Lego Fortnite's getting a split screen mode. Couldn't care less. Don't really like Fortnite. At some point, I'll probably stream Fortnite. It'll be called like A Boomer Plays Fortnite. And you all will watch me play for like 20 minutes before I delete the game. But that's even if I feel like downloading the 90 freaking gigs that it is. That'll be a terrible day. Then we have Dynasty Warriors Origins coming January 17th, 2025. We're starting to get some hard dates for early 2025 games, which is always exciting. Dynasty Warriors has always flown under the radar. I definitely prefer when they've done the crossover stuff, like Hyrule Warriors and Fire Emblem Warriors. But New Warriors game coming in January could be at just the right lull period to suck me in, but we'll have to see. Then we have Monster Hunter Wilds coming February 28th, 2025. A lot of people are excited for this game, and I do not want to temper expectations. Again, everybody has their own taste in games. I have just never been good at Monster Hunter. This isn't an issue of, I just was never interested in the game. I've been interested. I just suck at Monster Hunter. I am terrible at it. I don't have the patience for it. That's what it comes down to. Then we have LEGO Horizon Adventures coming November 14th. There's been a big deal about this game also coming to Switch, being that the IP is a PlayStation IP. Turns out it's going to be cool. Everything's going to be fine. It's not the end of the world for PlayStation. Obviously, they're going to have exclusives going forward. This is, a one-time deal, most likely. But, I've liked some of the LEGO games before. I actually liked when they did their own LEGO game, LEGO City Undercover, more than I have whenever they just borrow from other franchises. But I do think the game will sell really well, and it will be a game that people are looking at as, hey, how did it sell on the Switch? And whether or not PlayStation is willing to lease out their IPs in the future going forward in certain circumstances. Then we had, that led us right to Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered coming October 31st. This game is getting a lot of hate, and I completely understand why. This game is not that old. What is it, 7 or 8 years? It's so quick for a remaster. And, you could do the $10 upgrade path from the PS4 to the PS5 version. I get they've added about 10 hours of some mocap footage to help out with some of the cutscenes and some of the in-game cinematics. And it's going to look nice and pretty, I'm sure. Especially probably on the PS5 Pro. But who is this for? Who is this for? Because honestly, if you already like the Horizon series, you obviously played the first game already. If you're somebody that's new in the series, maybe you're picking up Forbidden West and not this one. Or maybe you're picking up the PS4 version of Zero Dawn and you don't feel the need to upgrade. So I'm not sure who this is for. It'll probably still sell well because Horizon definitely sells well regardless. And PlayStation felt like it was necessary. But I feel like a lot of the anger comes in, and this is where the anger comes in from my side, is looking at PlayStation and you're like, why are you remastering this game that's 7 or 8 years old whenever you have all these other options of games to remaster? Or why aren't you putting out new product? This generation feels awfully lost in the shuffle of remakes and remasters, and I'm including the Nintendo Switch into that. So many remakes and remasters. I hope at some point we either get to the point where we stop doing this and we just start making new shit again. Because it feels like that era of movies that we were getting a lot of remakes and remasters, but in the space of gaming now. And I feel like that could be a problem going forward. Since I have a big problem with PlayStation remastering PS4 games in general, without just doing the simple upgrade path for all of them and calling it a day, whenever it's just the literal previous generation. It's getting absurd. Like, remake or remaster Parappa the Rapper, or Infamous, or Killzone. But there's so many better options for remasters and remakes. And like I said, at the end of the day, us gamers, especially ones that have been around for 30-something years like me, would like some new shit. We like nostalgic shit, stuff that's really old and redone, but we're thinking 15, 20 years ago. Why do we keep getting stuff that's 7 or 8 years old and we're getting it re-released again? It's annoying, and I understand you don't have to buy the game, but I feel like it's taking resources away from something better that could be made. And I think that's where the frustration lies, more than anything. Next up, we're getting a Stellar Blade photo mode and a Nier Automata DLC. That sounds like fun. Stellar Blade's definitely a game that I need to go back and, see if it's on sale and see if I want to pick it up, because it's very Bayonetta-like, and I like Bayonetta, and if Stellar Blade's like that, count me in as interested. Then we got an announcement for October PS Plus games. I mean, they already had our attention, so why not just give us the October games? So they did. WWE 2K24, which I will stream. Dead Space, which I will stream. And Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. Don't know what it is, but I will stream it. And then, Last of Us Part 1 is getting added to the PS Plus game catalog. So, good job beefing up the catalog. There was also a couple other announcements, like I think Legacy of Kain and stuff like that. PlayStation's so confusing with their 3 different tiers of memberships, though. I just don't give a crap. I just get the essential and call it good. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, but I really wish that they just had free online. Like, this is what they should honestly do, my opinion. Free online, like they used to have in the PS3 era, and $50 a year for PS Plus. And if you want a second tier that has all the bells and whistles you could think of, and a bunch more free games, and a catalog, and a streaming service, or whatever, maybe you could get away with a $200 yearly sub or $20 a month. You know what I mean? But I still think one tier makes sense. Even Nintendo does this. 2 different tiers, making you pay for online. Xbox does it. 2 or 3 different tiers. Different tiers whether you're on PC or Xbox. It's just ridiculous, guys, to make people pay to play online whenever PC is free. It's stupid. But if you're going to make people do it, one tier, man. Can we just have one tier that's cheaper? But anyway, tangent on that over. The most important thing got announced at the end, and that is Ghost of Yodi. I'm definitely butchering the name, but it's basically the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, which was a smash hit for Sucker Punch, and they've been working on this game ever since then, and this is definitely a game that's going to sell like bonkers. It looks great. I'm very excited to play it. It's coming in 2025. We at least got some light at the end of the tunnel of all this bullshit PlayStation's been feeding us with that announcement. And so, very excited to see that. I'm actually excited that it's not Ghost of Tsushima 2, and they're actually doing something different with it, not just beating the same stuff into the ground. I think it allows for some more creativity now that they're going to a different region of Japan. So now we know kind of what the idea of this franchise is going to be going forward, and it's definitely going to be a major staple of the PS5 generation. So anyway, guys, what did you think of the PlayStation State of Play for September 2024? Were there any games that you liked? Are there any problems you had with the presentation? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace. I'm out. Have a good one.